One morning your roses look healthy and full of fresh green leaves. Just a few days later, tiny insects seem to appear from nowhere. The stems become crowded with small pests. New leaves begin to curl. A sticky layer covers the plant, and before long, black mold starts growing on that sticky surface. Can feel as though your healthy garden changed overnight. Most gardeners respond the same way. They reach for another bottle of pesticide, hoping a stronger spray will solve the problem once and for all. But here is something that surprises many experienced growers. Some of the healthiest gardens use very few chemical sprays at all. In fact, spraying more often can sometimes lead to even more pest problems later. After watching home gardens through many seasons, one pattern appears again and again. The gardeners with the healthiest roses, vegetables, and flowering plants are not always the ones working the hardest. They simply understand their plants a little better and know when a gentle solution is enough. If this feels confusing, you're not doing anything wrong. Most of us were taught that every insect problem needs a stronger product. Thankfully, nature often gives us a much simpler answer. Stay with me because in just a few moments, I'll share an easy homemade mixture that many gardeners already have the ingredients for. I'll also explain why it works so quickly, when it should be used, when it should be avoided, and the one small mistake that causes many natural sprays to disappoint. Before explaining why this happens, it helps to understand exactly what these tiny insects are doing to your plants. Although aphids and mealybugs look different, they behave in very similar ways. Both are soft-bodied insects that feed by piercing the plant and drinking its sap. You can think of plant sap as the food that carries water and nutrients through every stem and leaf. As these insects continue feeding, they slowly weaken the plant from the inside. A small number of pests may not seem like much at first. In fact, many gardeners don't notice them until the damage becomes visible. New leaves may curl or twist. Flower buds may stop opening properly. Young shoots often become weak, and the whole plant may seem to slow down without any obvious reason. While feeding, these insects also leave behind a sweet, sticky liquid called honeydew. This sticky coating attracts ants, and it creates the perfect place for black sooty mold to grow. The mold itself usually doesn't infect the plant, but it blocks sunlight from reaching the leaves. That makes it harder for the plant to produce the energy it needs to grow. This is why an infestation often feels as though it appeared overnight. The insects were quietly multiplying long before the damage became easy to see. Aphids, especially, reproduce very quickly during warm weather. A few insects can become hundreds within a short time if conditions are right. Mealybugs tend to spread more slowly, but they hide in leaf joints, under stems, and even around roots, making them easy to miss during a quick glance. Once gardeners finally notice the problem, the natural reaction is often to spray immediately with the strongest product available. That seems reasonable, but stronger does not always mean better. Many chemical pesticides kill more than just the insects causing trouble. They can also remove the helpful insects that naturally keep pest numbers under control. Ladybugs, lacewings, hoverflies, and other beneficial visitors quietly feed on aphids every day. When those helpful insects disappear, pest populations often return even faster than before. Timing also matters more than many people realize. Spraying during the hottest part of the afternoon can stress leaves that are already struggling. Some plants may develop burn spots, especially during hot summer weather. Rain can wash fresh spray away before it has time to work, while windy conditions may prevent the mixture from reaching the insects at all. Repeated spraying can also create another problem. Gardeners sometimes see a few surviving insects and assume they need an even stronger treatment. But the real issue is often that the spray never reached the hidden insects tucked beneath curled leaves or deep inside crowded stems. So what are experienced gardeners doing differently? The answer becomes much clearer when we look at how these tiny insects are built. Unlike beetles or many larger garden pests, aphids and mealybugs have soft outer bodies. They do not have a thick shell to protect them. When the homemade mixture comes into direct contact with them, the mild soap helps break down the protective coating on their bodies. This causes them to lose moisture quickly, and many of them die within a short time. That is why this type of spray works by contact. It must touch the insects directly. Simply spraying nearby leaves is not enough. This also explains why some pests survive the first treatment. They may be hiding under curled leaves, tucked into stem joints, or protected inside clusters where the spray cannot reach them. Mealybugs can be even more difficult because of the white, cotton-like coating that covers their bodies. This coating helps protect them, so a second gentle application a few days later is sometimes needed. That does not mean the mixture failed. It simply means you are dealing with insects that are better at hiding. The next mistake is not usually the recipe. It is the timing. Early morning is often the best time to spray. Temperatures are cooler, the sun is less intense, and the mixture has time to work before the heat of the day arrives. Early evening can also be a good choice, especially during summer. Avoid spraying in the middle of a hot afternoon because leaves can become stressed, particularly on tender plants. It is also wise to check the weather before you begin. If rain is expected soon, much of the mixture may wash away before it has time to work. Strong wind can carry the spray away from the insects you are trying to reach. Calm, dry conditions usually give the best results. The season also makes a difference. During spring, new plant growth is soft and attractive to aphids, so regular observation becomes especially helpful. In the heat of summer, plants may already be under stress from high temperatures, making gentle care even more important. Indoor plants often need less frequent treatment because they are protected from weather, but they should still be checked carefully around leaf joints and underneath leaves. Greenhouse plants may require closer attention because warm, sheltered conditions allow pests to multiply more quickly. Climate plays a bigger role than many gardeners realize. In hot and dry regions, plants can become stressed more easily, and stressed plants often attract more sap-feeding insects. In humid areas, insects may reproduce rapidly because warm, moist conditions support their life cycle. Cooler climates may slow their development, but infestations can still appear when temperatures begin to rise. That is why copying another gardener's schedule does not always work. A friend living hundreds of miles away may have completely different weather, different humidity, and different growing conditions. The healthiest gardens are not managed by following the calendar alone. They are managed by observing what is actually happening in that specific garden. The goal is not to remove every insect you ever see. Nature has its own balance, and many insects are working quietly on your side. Ladybugs are among the best-known helpers because both adults and their young feed on large numbers of aphids. Lacewing larvae are sometimes called aphid lions because of how many soft-bodied pests they consume. Hoverflies may look a little like small bees, but their larvae are excellent natural predators. Bees and other pollinators are also valuable visitors that help many flowers and vegetables produce healthy crops. This is one reason selective spraying is so important. Instead of covering every plant in the garden, treat only the areas where pests are active. Spot treatment protects helpful insects while still reducing the pests that are causing damage. Over time, this creates a healthier balance where beneficial insects can continue doing part of the work for you. Healthy gardens usually need less spraying, not more. They depend on observation, patience, and small actions taken at the right time instead of constant effort. One simple habit can make an enormous difference throughout the growing season. About once a week, take a slow walk through your garden. You do not need to inspect every leaf. Just pause at each plant for a few moments. Look at the newest growth. Turn over a few leaves. Check around stems and flower buds. Catching a small group of aphids early is much easier than dealing with a large infestation weeks later. Good watering habits also help. Plants that receive steady moisture without becoming waterlogged are generally stronger and better able to recover from minor pest damage. Giving plants enough space for air to move between them reduces damp conditions that encourage other garden problems. It is also helpful to avoid giving too much nitrogen fertilizer, since very soft new growth often attracts aphids. Over time, you will begin noticing small changes before they become serious problems. A single curled leaf or a few tiny insects are often gentle reminders to pay attention rather than reasons to worry. If you're comfortable sharing, I'd love to know what plants give you the most trouble with aphids or mealybugs. Your experience may also help another gardener reading the comments. Great gardening is rarely about working harder. It is about understanding what your plants are quietly telling you. The more closely you observe your garden, the less often you will need to spray anything at all. Sometimes the healthiest garden grows because we learn when to step back, stay patient, and simply observe. Often, doing a little less allows nature to do a little more.